Okay, so welcome to our team call for May 15th. We just a few quick updates just to make sure everybody's in the know, but we are doing a coach sneak peek next Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is May 22nd. Throwing that out there a week ahead of time so you have plenty of time to share about it, talk about it, breadcrumb about coaching on your social media, invite people behind the scenes, make some coaching stories to share in your Instagram and or Facebook stories with a poll, giving people an opportunity to join you. Kelly posted some awesome ideas of stories to the team pages today. Those are made with an app called Unfold. If you haven't tried it yet, it's super simple. Excuse me, but what I would suggest doing is having, this is going to be something here later, but like a photo album of like pictures that you could pull from when you're sitting down to use Unfold app, because then it's super easy instead of like having to scroll through and look for photos you're going to use for it, to just have them all right there. Like I have an album called Coaching Photos, of just different like fitness and, you know, myself and my son, or like team photos in there. And feel free to copy paste any of the text that you see us write on those and make it your own, and tweak it kind of if it's not relevant to you where you're at in your business right now. But that's an incredible way to share about the coaching opportunity aside from actually posting about it and inviting to it. But guys, make sure to use these sneak peeks. It's so important. It's basically the game changer of how you're going to grow your team, and it does the work for you, right? Sometimes sharing the opportunity can seem challenging or hard or scary. Sneak peek takes out the guesswork of how to share it and what to say and all of that, because we hop on a Zoom call, and we talk about all different things about coaching. So your job is just to get out there with excitement and share why you love this, what it's doing for you, what you're building for yourself and your life, how it's impacted your life, all that good stuff, and invite people to join us for that. So that is, again, next Wednesday night. I want to say, if you're coming to Summit, just make sure that you're in the Summit page, because we're going to have updates going on of like a team night where we all wear the same color. If we can come to a decision on that.
Wait, is Tom wearing white too?
Yeah, everybody can partake in it. Husbands too.
Was that the final? I didn't even see. I thought black was taking the lead there.
I think black was taking the lead.
Go back and look.
But
I mean, we could always do black and white. Anyways, or we could just go gray, you know, periwinkle. We're saying periwinkle.
Chartreuse.
Kidding.
Not a good color on me at all.
Anyways, and I know we're both, I think, ordering team shirts and things like that. So just, if you're going to Summit, make sure you're in that page, to stay tuned for updates. That's basically it. There's a Succeed Together promotion this month. If you missed it, it's FAQ 8984. But if you are a new coach that has never earned a Success Club point before, and you earn Success Club this month, you get a really cool shirt for that. That's always fun to get little extra incentives for doing things that we are doing anyways. And then I just wanted to shout out that Vegan Recover is launching. If you're like me, you're probably super pumped about it, because I've been dairy free and I freaking miss Recover. I know you do, Alicia. Vegan Recover is coming out on May 20th. It is plant-based. So if you have customers that are vegan or dairy sensitive or dairy free, or love Recover, but maybe the whey bothers their stomach, even if they're not dairy free, that's something to share with people. It's going to be awesome. And it is our first plant-based Beachbody performance line. So it's really awesome to see that come out. And I think that's it for updates. Does anybody else think of anything we didn't cover? Okay. So we kind of brainstormed and came up with some most important like do's and don'ts of social media. And for some of you that have been coaches for a while, some of it's going to be basic stuff to you. It's always good to have a refresher. And I feel like over time, things change a little bit too. But we wanted to make sure that, because there's a lot of newer coaches on this call, or on this team, and also a lot of coaches that I feel like always are saying they want to work on their skills on social media or become more effective on social media or have like more of a social media presence, that kind of stuff. Social media is always something we are working on tweaking and improving because it is where we run our business. Like that is our storefront, is our social media. And the only way that people know what you're up to or what they can join you for or what you're all about is by what you're sharing. So it's obviously important. So we have a list of kind of do's and don'ts that we're going to go over to share with you and kind of discuss. And if you have questions, you can feel free. And if you have things you want to chime in, you can feel free to do that too. I wish I was great at making pretty PowerPoints, but it's not that. So you're just going to have to listen to us. But I will go ahead and get started. And Kelly and I are just going to toss it back and forth. And like I said, anybody can chime in at any point in time if they want to, but we really want to work on like more branding and more sharing effectively on social media. So I want you to think about this. We're going to go through all the do's first, and then we'll go through the don'ts. But think about like, what coaches do you enjoy following? Like, who inspires you? Why do they inspire you? What are key characteristics, habits, or mindsets that they have? What about the look or the coloring or things like that about their photos attract you? And the way that they talk or the way that they share things, what is it about that that makes you want to read it? Like, what makes you stop your scroll and engage in it to follow them? Because that is the feeling that you want other people to have about you. So it's also cool to go do a social media reflection after a call like this and sit down and scroll through your last like 15 to 20 Facebook posts and things like, would I be somebody that I want to follow? Do I find me interesting? Do I find me inspiring? Would I be somebody that I would feel like I would connect with or relate to or have, funny things in common with? And kind of do a reflection of your own social media, or have a success partner or somebody do that for you is always good too, as long as you're open to constructive criticism. Right? The next one is stay inspired. And this is a big one. And I've had a few newer coaches reach out to me recently and just say that they're struggling with like, what the hell do I post? I don't know what to share. Like, I just don't ever feel inspired. I don't know what to talk about. And the biggest thing I want to say about this is that your personal development and your commitment to your own journey, imperfectly, of course, is so key, because if you are actually drinking your Shakeology, doing your workouts, doing your personal development, engaging in the team page, getting on calls, doing these things, right? It's a lot easier to come up with stuff to share than it is if you're not doing one or many of those things, because what the hell are you going to talk about if you're not actually doing it? And how are you going to be passionate talking about it if you're not doing it or feeling the effects of it, right? So that's key for building trust with your network, transparency, credibility, relatability, showing your growth, your progress, the potential of what is there for somebody else if they were to join you. So like I said, it's always easier to share it with energy and passion if you are actually doing that. So just remember that, like, if you are doing your vitals, it's so much easier to share on social media. Do you want to take the next one, Kelly?
Sure. So obviously one of the biggest reasons why people would come to us, guys, is the fact that they need help with their own journey. They see whatever we're posting and they want that, whether it's a physical transformation, whether it's a mental transformation, whatever it may be, they want that. So first and foremost, guys, we have to stay committed to our own journey. If we are always sharing everyone else's before and after pictures, but never our own, why are they going to come to us? And why would they just not choose the other person? Like, it's very, very, very important to be visible. And what I see happen a lot with a lot of the top coaches and just a lot of coaching in general is that you will find their before and after pictures probably within the first 9 to 12 posts of every single one of their posts. If you go to their Instagram page, the first 9 bubbles are what you see when you're on a cell phone. So every single week they are posting one of their before and after pictures, not the same one, but they're changing it because it's sharing what their journey has been. So we have to stay committed to our own goals, our dreams, whatever. If we're talking and sharing about the business, we have to share where we come from, what it's done for us, small or big, no matter what it is, guys, whether it's simple things like I paid for my child's daycare this week, share that stuff. But you have to stay committed, and it's okay to share that you are on the struggle bus. we want to be positive, but we know that life isn't just like that all the time. But we want to also talk about what, like for us, if we're having a really struggling day, how do we turn that around? Like, what did we do? We had this issue that was going on, but whether it's our community that brought us back together, whether it was the support with our coach, whatever it was, that we were able to turn that back around and make it into a positive, because we cannot, we have to flip that shit.
Hashtag flip your shit. That's going to be the new team motto.
Shit, guys. People are not going to want to watch us if we're all negative Nellies. Like, that's just we have too much of that in this world. We need to be positive. And for any time, we all are going to have struggles, but what are we going to do to fix that? Because that's what they're looking for us. They're looking for us to help fix something that they're struggling with. And if we can't do that for ourselves, then why should they turn to us once again? Don't worry about being perfect. No one wants perfect. No, there is no such thing as perfect. You just want to be relatable. You want to show them the days that you struggle. Drop the mic. Yeah. You want to share little things. Like, I share a lot about, even days that I've had a rough, diabetes day. I've shared a lot, mom life. For me, I have 5 big things, and those are the things you want to look at. What are your 5 things that make up you that are not specifically Beachbody? So you can be relatable to all those areas, but you want to share the imperfections with a positive swing, and you want to share what you're going through. But perfect doesn't work for anyone, and that's not what any of these people are looking for. So just be relatable. What are we doing? Okay, Dana, this is kind of both of us. So Beachbody is what we're doing, guys, but this is not our brand. We all have our own brands, and it's so important that you make up your own brand. I don't want anyone to really see anything when they come to my page about Beachbody. My hope, unless I've really messed up on certain pictures, is that they have no clue, because my cup is going to be turned. I'm never going to talk about Shakeology in that way. I'm never going to share the program unless it's a weird thing and I for some reason show my transformation sticker or whatever. No one should honestly know what you're doing, because you always want to give that idea of aloof, what are they doing, that interest. You want them to want to ask you questions, not you give it all away. If you give it all away, they don't need you. It's all done. Curiosity marketing, 110%. So you want to brand yourself. So what sets you apart from someone else? So, and once again, what makes them relate to you better than the other Beachbody coach that they just saw on their Facebook page scroll by? They want to go to you for certain things. So top 5 things we talked about, who are you? What are you going to share about? Who do you relate to? Who do you connect with? Why will people want to come to you to get help instead of someone else? So figure out what your things are and become that person. For me, I'm a nurse. Diabetes, is my world. I'm a busy mom. I like wine. You will see me posting, I am a health and fitness coach, and almost every other meme or every other something is me drinking. I don't care. If you aren't someone that probably does that, you're probably not my person. And it's cool. But you have to share and be true to you, because ultimately you're trying to find your own vibe, your own tribe. And if you fake out to be something you're not, it's just not going to work.
You're going to connect with the wrong people that you don't enjoy working with is what happens. Whatever you are putting out there is what you are going to keep attracting. I always say this in the sentiment of as a new coach and just as a coach in general, it's kind of like cookie cutter. We're all doing the same thing, all using the same programs, products, business opportunity, all that stuff. So if you don't want to be cookie cutter, you need to think about what are the things that set you apart from the other 400,000 coaches in this company. Why is someone going to gravitate towards you, your story, what you're sharing, what you have to offer, your personality? That stuff matters so much, because it's like that saying that if you are talking to everybody, you are talking to nobody at all. So that's huge.
I think this is also where you can fall into the comparison trap without really knowing that you're doing it, or the imitation trap, I should say, maybe not comparison, but you see what Beachbody coaches are doing and you're like, okay, I have to fit the mold, where it's pretty much the opposite. Stand out as you. share. Like, if you're not perfect with nutrition, don't pretend to be perfect. Like, I've been sharing like what I've been eating lately and it has not been on track, but that's just like my journey right now. So sharing that with people, and I'll probably relate to the people who are like, yeah, I don't want to like eat salads every day for lunch and whatever, but just share you and your journey, and that you're a work in progress, basically. Like, I'm not saying like go binge eat whatever you want and work out and try to say like you'll get fit and healthy if you do this, but try to just share like your work in progress, your challenges, and don't try to be like this picture perfect, like I'm doing the portion fix perfectly and I'm working out every day, if that's not your journey. Like, share the ups and downs, and people who are like you are going to relate to that and not just see you as another Beachbody coach on their feed promoting the same thing that everyone else is promoting the same way.
Totally.
And if I-
on that, that's something I had actually said yesterday in my live yesterday on the team page. I was kind of mentioning, I don't know if anybody was watching it or anything, but where I talked mainly about my struggles with the anxiety, the depression. You know, people know me. People on Instagram now know me as the preemie mom. Like, I focus on the fact that, you know, the emotional challenges of having two preemies, and one being an early preemie, and the celiac. And, you know, they also see the mom life, and just being as authentic as you possibly can and showing the realness. Like, I've come on there with a pint of Halo and said, guys, guess what? I just ate the whole thing because I'm a fat girl at heart and I love it. Like, that's just me. So you see me with my containers right now, but I guarantee you I'll probably have a spoonful of peanut butter in my other hand.
Or Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls, you know me well. But you have to share who you are. I mean, that's what draws people to you. I mean, Sharifa, you didn't know me from a hole in the wall, and something drew you to me. So, you know, just put yourself out there as real and as authentic as you, and that's all you can do, because I am not like Dana. I can't eat a salad 24/7. It does not happen. I'm sorry.
I am not.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I have a lot of empty greens.
You always have empty greens.
Okay, now going along with that, guys,
Got into a team call of confessions.
I have a lot of yellow. Is it a problem to save my yellows for this all the time?
When you go more than 2 a day, yes.
All right, so our next,
Attractive and bright.
yeah.
So now, obviously, when you're looking at pictures, guys, it is such a little thing, but it's such a massive thing, guys. If you're going through the effort of taking these pictures of whatever it is that you're doing, you have to put the energy in on making them clear, crisp, eye-catching, bright, and fun. You cannot have dark, you can't have dark pictures. You can't. So simple things, guys. If you have an area where you just don't have a lot of lighting, and sometimes in our homes we don't get the proper lighting, get one of these. It's like $8 on Amazon. Clip it to your cell phone. Press it. I don't have the really cool new phone, so I don't have like the nice one. Whitney probably is really good at this because we've taken some good ones with this stuff. But get the clip and $8, boom, turn it on when it's a crappy dark day or whatever it is, and brighten up your face. Spend the money for $8 and it will do wonders of people actually stopping versus something that's grainy. You can get like for 15 to 20 bucks on Amazon, get a tripod. It can go up and down. There's tons of them. And clip your phone into it, do videos, do whatever you need to do. Take your pictures, take it to all different parts of the house. Having said that, have different backgrounds. Do not have the same picture in the same workout space. Go outside, have it on a kid's field, have it on a hike, have it at the beach. Like, go places and share so that all your pictures are not the same. If it's a workout picture, every time they're going to say, all right, I get it. You work out. Awesome. But what else do you have to offer me? So share more, share food,
outside of it, yeah.
Just share information, but things have to be eye-catching, and you have to kind of look at, and that's why I love looking at other coaches just to see what they do. I'm not stealing, but I love to see what seems to be working for them and look at the style. Like my Instagram, I have like every fourth or something, a quote, and it's always white and it's a black quote. It just is uniform for me, but everything else is the same color app that I got. I paid $2 for the app, and there's many apps you don't have to pay for, but it's always that color going through. So it's not one picture dark, one picture light, one picture outside. It just like doesn't work visually for people. So something so simple as same coloring, get it bright, and have some sort of uniform is key. And it just looks professional. So definitely if you can take that extra like 10 minutes and like figure that out, then it definitely will help you and people will be drawn to it.
And people are more likely to stop the scroll and read what you actually have to say if they're more visually attracted to the photo.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post a side by side. I posted one a while back, but like what my social media looked like in the summer time, like when I was sick and all I was doing was taking selfie versus now where I'm trying to like alternate if it's like close-ups or selfies or far away or whatever. I'm surely not perfect at this, but it's such a drastic difference between the two if you just have a little bit of intention to like be a little more creative with how you take pictures. And I should say, not just like with the like go travel to all of the places. Like if you go to certain places, just like make an effort to snap a few extra photos, like remind yourself to do that. But if you have a day where you're all dolled up in makeup and you feel cute, or like you have cute workout clothes on and you're feeling yourself that day, like snap a few extra photos to have in your phone for those days where you are feeling like a hot mess and you don't have a photo that you feel like grabbing. Or if you're like out on the weekend doing something, ask somebody to snap a few creative photos of you, because if you do it that way, it's not overwhelming to like try and create a little album for yourself of photos to pull from.
I had one day that I finally showered and did my hair, guys. And I know that sounds like so crazy to think about, but I finally did my hair and I was like, oh my God, like this looks nice today. So my kids were gone and I literally sat one day, I'm like, I'm going to go in front of my bedroom window and I put my laptop on and I did something so that I was like, this is going to be like a business type thing or a coaching type thing. Got a picture, snapped it, propped it up something, went and did that, changed my outfit, put on something else, went downstairs in like the kitchen in the way that I did something. And then I had a workout outfit on. I'm like, all right, I got a lot of pictures going on today. Same darn day. But like, then I have them saved so that when I'm like, all right, I have a coach sneak peek coming up. I need to now post something coach related or business related. Now I have a cool picture to go with it. So don't be afraid to do that. Melanie Mitro said that she goes around and does that all around her house during the day. Yeah. So it happens. So just don't be shy and do it.
Yeah.
And having said that, if you are looking, like I scroll in bed a lot when I'm in bed and I look at, stories and things like that on Instagram of top coaches. And if I see something that really relates to me and I love the way that they did a picture, I love the way that they've talked about it, not that I'm going to ever steal what they're saying, but I screenshot it and I have a folder on my phone that just says, posting ideas or something like that. And I just save it in there so that if I ever am on the struggle bus of what I should post today, because I'm going to post every single day, guys, remember, you got to be present, that I know I can go back into my pictures and say, like, I want to this is what I want to do today. And I can kind of pull back something like that and pull some pictures for it. So we all are busy and we understand we're not going to have the perfect pictures every day, but we can have something saved and you can bring back pictures from a year ago that no one knows about when you were on the Success Club trip or when you're on a team retreat or you're at Summit when you're starting to talk about these things. Just have them accessible. All right. Let's see.
I just want to add this one thing because this is a game changer if you're a new coach and you're like, how the hell do I take photos of myself? Like other than holding it, if you have a timer setting on your phone where you can set it for 10 seconds and then like stand back and stage your photo and it'll snap a burst of photos for you. I didn't know that. Is there anybody that didn't know that? Once in a while, like a timer.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've been doing lately is that I've actually been taking slow motion videos. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time I'll do it like when I'm running because it's impossible to get a running photo. But when you do slow motion videos, when you're doing your workouts, you can pause the video, screenshot it. And so if you do it on slow-mo, it captures like very crisp, like action photos. So you can see like muscles and things like that. So that's just something fun too.
Awesome. I love that.
I just want to add to that discussion about the workout things. Like, we are all so proud when we like get our workouts done every day, but I will suggest like keep that in your IG stories. Like, people who are following you in your IG stories, don't feel like you have to post a sweaty selfie every day on your feed. Like, if people are watching you, they see you in your stories. Like, maybe if you're posting once a day, make sure that that once a day is varied, like they're saying. Like, yes, we all know we're all working out and doing that, and like kudos to us and whatever, but that can be in your stories, while your post might be more meaty about like your lifestyle outside of the workout. So that's just a way to kind of keep Beachbody as a running thread in your life and not like the focus point of your social media. Like, if you post a sweaty selfie every day and only occasionally you're posting lifestyle stuff, your page is going to be mostly Beachbody sweaty selfies. So you've got to kind of find that balance. So if it just means don't post a sweaty selfie that day, keep it in your IG stories, that's more of that like active lifestyle, everyday posting where you have more value to offer in your.
Well, and I think that when the way we were trained back in the day as dinosaurs, it was that you posted your sweaty selfies and your workouts every single day. And it's a transition to learn how to like share more about your brand versus just that. Yeah.
Or even if it's like, you know, sometimes now I'll post like a post-workout selfie. I'm in my workout gear. It looks like I work out, but my message is something else. It's not just like, hey, got my workout in for this reason. It's like talking about, I forget, like the weather that day and like potty training Ben, but it's obvious that like I'm in my active wear, like I was probably working out, that kind of thing.
Yep. So that goes along with it was like vary how you share about your fitness, nutrition, your brand, and coaching. Like, try different things, see what works, try different wording, try taking different angles on things to see what different people connect to, right? And a lot of times you're going to get inspired by your personal development of what to talk about. This one I suck at personally, I will admit, but varying the length of your posts. I tend to want to write 17-page novels. It's just who I am. You get popcorn when you come to my social media, but
like your voice messages.
Yeah, that too. I have a lot to say. Everybody's laughing. Because anybody that gets audio messages from me knows. Have a clear side-by-side, left to right transformations and share them often, at least once a week. We talked about that. You can share your transformation. You can share other people's transformations. You can also share different types of transformations. So you can share, say you have like a really awful gut health story and Shakeology changed your gut health. Like, you could do a transformation about that. You can do emotional transformations. You can do physical transformations. You can do financial transformations. You can do transformations of mindset and like who you were and how you thought and how you felt versus who you are, how you think, and how you feel now, right? You could do transformations about your confidence. There are so many different ways to share how this journey and or this business has transformed your life. It's important to get creative and share different angles that are relevant to the people you're trying to connect to.
But really, guys, connect and use Tuesdays, like a Transformation Tuesday, as you will always post like a transformation, and pick and choose any person on this call, any one of your, your challengers, but share, because people really like to see where someone's come from and where they are now. And same thing within your stories. Most of the people that have responded to my polls are people that have seen befores and afters, and they're like, holy crap, I want that. But please, I know it's hard sometimes, but please make sure visually that it is your first picture on the left when you're looking at a screen is your before, and then the next one is your right. It sounds so simple, guys. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves, because sometimes it's not clear and they don't know and it's confusing. And then when you have wording all over it and like graphics and stuff all over it, just keep it plain and simple, guys. It doesn't do anything for it. Just do a blank before and after. Try to get your befores and afters on like a background that is clear, like one wall or something, just so it is very clear of like what the before and after is, and then share that.
That's the sentiment of like, your body is your business.
Right. Right. And once again, you don't have to be perfect. You shouldn't be perfect. Show progression. Show you are working on something. Okay.
All right. So this is, I mean, pretty much everybody knows this, but posting to your personal Facebook and Instagram, and you can also copy paste to a like page. There are only a handful of people that are actually working on a like page. So just wanted to kind of stress that, especially for newer coaches, that you want to be working on personal pages, because that is where your warm market is. That is where people already trust you, people already like you, people already know you, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to connect and build in that network versus going out into a completely cold network and attempting to build credibility and all of that, right? So thinking about content with like that is thought out with an intention to do some of these things. So connect, inspire, motivate, encourage, evoke humor, evoke emotion, help people feel less alone, ask questions, opinions, share things that people in your niche or brand would relate to. Like a lot of us are moms and we talk about funny mom stuff, or ask questions about mom things, conversation starters. Keeping a note section in your phone. This kind of goes along with what Kelly said about saving an album if you're inspired by something. I also have a note section in my phone. So if there's something that like an idea that pops in my head, I often get them when I'm like driving or taking a shower for some reason, of like a post idea, like jot that in your notepad of your phone so that you can go back to that when you're trying to think of something to talk about. Or screenshot posts for inspiration and add them to an album to go back to, and or Instagram stories. I screenshot Instagram stories sometimes and save those to an album. Adding value, tips of any kind about anything. It could be anything that is relevant to your brand, giving tips about that. Your story matters. Does anybody on here feel like they don't have a story? Because I've heard that. Oh, I saw 2 hands go up. Okay, so I think sometimes, at least I think this because I have like a really crazy story. Like I have so many crazy things about my story that I don't even know what the hell to talk about sometimes, but everybody has a story, even if you don't have something traumatic or crazy or impactful that has happened, right? You just have to dig a little deeper beyond the surface things to figure out what your story is and what you're going to relate to, because everybody has had struggles, insecurities, losses, things that they go through, challenges with family or emotional stuff, whatever. Like everybody has a story about something or many things that you can share. You are a human with a ton of emotions. There is no way that you haven't had life experiences that have shaped you into who you are and how you are now, right? And then you're also building your story through what we're doing with coaching. So I wanted to prompt you with these questions of: who were you before Beachbody? What did you struggle with? What did you want to change? What dreams or goals did you have? What fears or objections did you have? What do you still struggle with? What are you currently working on improving? What has changed since you started your journey? So this is a really great exercise to do. So jotting out 10 ways that fitness, nutrition, Shakeology, challenge groups, community have changed your life. And then jotting out 10 ideas of what you love about coaching and how coaching has changed your life. And if you aren't super successful, say you're new, you don't make a ton of money yet, whatever it is, jotting out things about coaching that you see people around you doing, or that you want to do, or that you like aspire to achieve in your business. I was saying to Kelly earlier, I recall like when I was maybe a year into coaching and like I wasn't making a ton of money yet, but I talked all the time about like trainings I was building or calls I was running or videos I was recording. Like I talked about different things that I was doing, so that it gave people some depth to what I was doing with my business, even though I wasn't making like a full-time income yet, if that makes sense. So also sharing those little wins you're having. Who cares if you only made $30? Share what that went towards. Did you take your kid on an after school date for a smoothie? Like, were you able to take your spouse out for a drink? Are you putting that towards something for your family? Are you saving it towards paying off debt? Like, share the small wins, because there are so many people out there whose lives would drastically change with an extra $50, $100 a week, $500 a month, right? And it's important to share those, because if you're sharing those things, that's how you eventually start sharing more, right? Like people don't know that there's an opportunity to join if you don't start sharing from where you're at. You can also share successes of others on the team. and what they've done and what you hope to create and why it inspires you. So where were you then? Why did you start? Where are you now? Where are you going? And kind of jot out those ideas. And then Kelly, I'm sorry, I'm trying to kind of go quickly. So
No, go nuts.
10:30 at night. Okay, I love this topic. If you follow me on social media, you know that I love this topic, but vulnerability, I believe, is key to connection. There are so many things in life that people are too ashamed or too afraid to talk about and do not have the courage to talk about. And those are the things that I feel like connect people to us the most, right? Because you are not just talking about surface-ish on social media. You're talking about real stuff, right? Real struggles, real feelings. I have gone through some crazy stuff health-wise the last year, and it really sucked because for a while there, I felt like I was dying and nothing, nothing positive felt like it came through to me, but somehow I managed to keep sharing through it all, and now I can share that I'm getting better and making progress, whatever, but so many people have reached out to me in the last few months and told me that they struggle with similar issues, or they're struggling with anxiety or depression or things that I have talked about, and said, I feel less alone, or it gave me hope that you found healing, or different things, whatever it is that I'm going to say it like this. Dig deep from time to time about the things that you feel are hard to share. So what do you have anxiety or fears about? When do you feel shame? What are things you want to hide that others would relate to? For example, do you go in a dressing room and you absolutely hate trying on clothes because of a specific part of your body? And what are you doing to work on that and love yourself through it, right? How do you sabotage yourself? What's a struggle you're currently going through, and how can you share how you're overcoming that to inspire somebody else? What is a life hack that you've learned to help you manage or cope with something hard? What do you talk to your close friends about? Now, obviously, you're not going to go air all your dirty laundry and all your personal stuff out there on Facebook, but what are things that are important to you that you talk about with certain friends that might be something somebody else would relate to, that is, and this is key, relevant to your brand and relatable with your brand? We're not just saying pull random vulnerable things out there to share, but if this is relevant to your brand, it's something worth talking about a lot of the times, right? And you can totally throw it out there to your coach or your success partner and say, is this something worth talking about? But often those super scary, vulnerable posts are the things that are going to connect people to you the most. Don't be afraid to get passionate about important stuff. Once in a while, I think there's a handful of us that are, I know Rachel is, I know Kelly is super passionate about health, and preventative care about health, things like that. Don't be afraid to get passionate and a little bit loud or a little bit tough love. I don't know, I think, how do you say your name? Gian, you girl, I see you out there with your rants about being healthy and how being sick is hard, and I friggin' love it because you've got balls and you put yourself out there about it, and it's passionate, and it's giving a little bit of pushback and truth bombs out there. And I think that if that is something you are passionate about, talk about it. I think it's awesome. I've been watching you.
Even if it's not health related, if you post something and you're that's gonna get some opinions, if that's your opinion and you stand behind it, talk about it, bring it up, hot topics. I know sometimes we've heard stay away from the social media talk, but if it's something that's going on and prevalent in the world and it means something to you and you want a voice on it, go for it and start conversations with people. But do not expect to put your voice out there and not be able to respond to people who have a difference of opinion. You're not just putting it out there to matter of fact people. You have to be prepared to have a discussion with people and just start those conversations. That's a great way for people to kind of meet you where you're at, or you'll find the people that aren't your people through those kinds of posts. So
having said that, guys, religion and politics, just be careful. It's not part of this. I am a hippie Vermonter. If you want to talk about rebel girl. I can go off for days on everything, but you've never once seen me post anything about it, although I'm biting my tongue half the time.
Yep.
But
See, I'm the opposite, Kelly. I'm like, if that's you, if you're passionate about it, go for it. Like, if you want, I mean, one thing, like, you're not going to go, not you in particular, but I just mean if that's something that someone stands behind, like, no, don't post about it every day and every time something comes up. But if you stand behind a law or something, like there's a lot going on right now in the world of like abortion and all that. Like if that means something to you, if that's part of your brand of like who you are and things that you really stand up for, like put it out there on social media, what you have open to discussion. But if you are the type of person that has feelings about it and do not want to open that can of worms on social media, don't do that. But it's just, I feel like we as a team should be really careful to say like, do this, don't do this. Like the biggest thing is like be you on social media and like live and learn a little bit with what you're posting out there and just don't offend
Have
people.
thick skin if you're going to post controversial things. That's all I'm going to say. Thick skin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I just think my biggest takeaway, I think, from social media and stuff is to say, like, we're not doing anyone any favors by telling them to, like, fit into a box on social media. Like, our biggest thing is, like, be you on social media. And the only thing is, like, stay away from, like, the negative stuff. So if you post something that means something to you, just be open-minded and, like, not reactive to what people are saying. Like, you have to be able to roll with the punches that come our way. Like if it's something about Beachbody stuff and you get negative feedback on that, you have to just be able to say like, hey, I understand why you might feel that way and whatever. Like be a positive person no matter what's coming your way.
Yeah. Which actually brings me to the next thing I had on the list. It said putting a positive spin on tough stuff. So sharing how you are overcoming it. Being solution oriented, because remember, even if you are a brand new coach, you are now an influencer. You are a leader in your network, right? Because you are sharing things with an intention to help people, inspire people, encourage people, help people live happier, healthier, more fulfilling lives. And so now you said yes to coaching and you are in a leadership role. You are in an influencing role, right? Whether you have 2 followers or 25,000, it doesn't matter. But thinking about how, I guess, you can make an impact when you are sharing things that are really hard. Like I said, flip your shit, right? Because we all have shit. We have shit happens every day, all day, from tantrums to real life things. And you don't want to just not talk about those things unless it's something you really don't want to talk about or you can't talk about, because I've been there too. But thinking about the perspective that you're sharing it with and the intention that you're sharing it with. Like, are you using social media to vent or to rant about how hard life is? Like, what kind of energy is behind what you are sharing? Because remember that people are coming to you to help them, mentor them, guide them. It's not about being perfect. It's not about making everything look perfect or life is always easy in your highlight reel, because that's a whole bunch of BS and we all know it, right? But sharing it with some type of a positive spin on it. Posting at least once a day on all social media sites. So being present, you do not have to post a million times. That's going to annoy people. You're going to get blocked. And people also think about this is, if people are thinking about joining you as a coach, they don't want to be online all day either. Like, we build this eventually to build freedom. So that's another thing too. And then let's see, Kelly, we're just going to fly through these to finish up.
Yeah.
Practicing writing the way that you talk, like with your lingo, your, quirky things you might say, your personality, emotion, sense of humor, which sometimes that can be hard to, like, the way that you think to come out and post, right? But the more that we work on it, the better we get at it, and the more people connect to that, because it's like your natural state. Do invite with confidence in your post to challenge groups and or coaching. It doesn't have to be salesy. Remember, it's about sharing a story or evoking emotion and then inviting somebody to join you for something. You have to know at all times what you're inviting to at that time of month. and align your post content and your invites with that so that it matches the inviting you're doing behind the scenes. And what I mean by that is if you are, say we have a sneak peek coming next week, but all this week, this next week, you're only talking about challenge group, but behind the scenes, you're inviting to coaching. It's kind of confusing because a lot of times when people get an invite from you behind the scenes, they're going to go immediately to your social media and see what you're up to and what you're all about, right? So you kind of want to make sure that you're transitioning, like maybe at the beginning of the month, the first 2 to 3-ish weeks, you're going hard talking about fitness, nutrition, inviting to challenge groups. And then towards the end of the month before a sneak peek, you're transitioning to talking a little bit more about coaching, the community, the opportunity, whatever, to align with inviting to sneak peeks.
And share, you guys share it. That's why we posted about it yesterday. Got to make sure that you're sharing, over this next week, at least a couple of times about coaching. Do make one of your posts be about that, guys, because the only way your business is ever going to grow is by having active coaches. I started this business just getting challengers, never sharing 1 ounce about coaching because I didn't believe in it at that point. Like I was unsure. And all I got was challengers, and my business sat and sat and sat. And then once you start to share about coaching is when you're going to actively bring in more people that actively want to coach. So please make sure that at least once a week, at the bare minimum, you're sharing something about what coaching has done for you. Even if it's a small something, you have to do that.
Yeah, and if you're a brand new coach, they were saying on the National Wake Up Call recently about how sharing your journey about coaching right from the get-go may be sharing about what your coach was doing that inspired you to start. So if you don't have a coaching story yet, but you're like watching other people coach, like what inspired you about your coach's story to start? So if you don't, if you don't have one yet, if you're like, I just started, how can I start talking about coaching? I haven't earned any money yet. Talk about why you started and what inspired you to start coaching. And yes, it may be, I like to help people, that may be part of it, but that's not why you're coaching, right? We talk about that a lot. Like, what is the business side going to do for you? What will it do for you to grow some supplemental income or full-time income or whatever? Speak to the vision of your coaching business.
Yes, huge to the vision. With that said, if you don't understand about building a team and why that's key and why sharing the opportunity is important, aside from the fact that is the biggest blessing and gift we have to give, go back and watch the call on maximizing the compensation plan. That's super important to understand the potential of business. Okay. Last few things. It is great if you have a success partner or accountability partner. We can put up another post on the team page because we haven't done that in a while if new people need to get connected, but it is great to get feedback from your success partner. Like if you have a post that you're like, I don't know if I should share this, this is really scary or whatever. I send a lot of mine to Stephanie or Ashley, and just, if it's something that I feel really that I want to have read over or something like that, you can do that with success partners. Like, share with each other and say, hey, how does this sound? Or could I tweak this or whatever? You're not going to do it with every post, but if it's one of those where you feel like you want some feedback, do that. Or just give each other reflections on your social media, like I said at the beginning of the call. And then the last few things about the don'ts: don't be salesy, don't post stock photos, don't post videos like how healthy is your shake, of products or links to buy. Don't steal post content from somebody. Like we said, you can save it to an album, you can get inspired by it, but make it your own and make it align with you and your brand and how you talk and what you're sharing for. Don't post every single detail about everything to leave room for curiosity. Don't name drop products. Like, again, we're trying to create curiosity because unfortunately some people see if you're posting about a product and they think, oh God, I'm going to run because she's another one of those people that's going to end up in my inbox, right? Don't hashtag things like Shakeology or Beachbody Coach, because the only thing you're doing is you're going to have people follow you that are already drinking Shakeology or are already coaches, and that's not how you're going to connect with new people in your network. Don't try to fake who you are or what you're doing. Integrity and being true to you is key. We just had this talk in regards to the whole politics deal. Don't go on negative rants. We talked about that. Post about never mind. We're going to skip that one. Don't be online every second of the day. And I said this because your brain needs a break you'll feel happier with some healthy boundaries around your business. And it's good for people to know that there are set work times if they do become a coach. And this is hard because a lot of us, even if we're not working, like to scroll social media, and you can do that at your whatever. We're not like telling you how to run your social media. I'm just saying, I personally know if I'm online too many hours a day, I get anxious. I feel drained. I feel agitated or annoyed. And it's like so healthy for me to just like shut my phone off for a few hours in the afternoon usually and just disconnect and not respond and not do anything. And I have been very honest with a lot of my customers, and now that there are certain, and even coaches, a lot of you, that there are hours in a day where I just don't really respond. So it is good to set boundaries like that. It will serve your life too. Kelly, do you want to take the stories and then we'll close it up?
All right, guys, stories. If you're not using them, start. They are literally where you're going to see so many people. When you're first starting, you might see a lot of people initially in your posts, but stories, please get familiarized with them, because you can have a post that might have whatever, 5, 10, 20 likes, or you can have stories as you're getting more people that might have 500 views. So you're going to have more people looking. I don't look at people's posts anymore. I look at people's stories. They're much more interactive. They're fun. They're engaging. They're 15 seconds. So like totally my like ADD totally helps out when it comes to that. But you want to do things like use hands-free. So that's an option on Instagram stories where you can just push the hands-free option and you can talk, and it does 15-second little videos. So I talk to people. I share things like what I've been doing for the day. I share snippets of my workouts. I share my kids, up to bat, batting or whatever it is. I share snippets. I even go on as I'm cooking. I'll prop my phone up and I'll share what I'm cooking, tell them the ingredients that I'm giving. I'm giving something to them, not expecting everything from them. But I do a lot of hands-free. I even talk about when it's payday, things that have happened for my coaches, but share, and hands-free is a great way to do that. Share meal prep, just different recipes. Take a screenshot. Once again, make sure the coloring is good. Post what you're eating so they can
take
see
photos in front of a window.
Right. Go by a window. Literally take your plate in front of a window. Yep. Take the picture. Once again, share that, and then maybe say, if you could even do a poll. If you want the recipe, give me a shout. Once again, you're trying to get engagement and you're trying to give them things. Try different ways of inviting. I do a poll, and I make sure I poll probably 2 or 3 times a week of asking people with before and after pictures or something about if they want more information on the coaching opportunity or my groups. You got to give people a ton of options to be able to reach out to you. Some people will never, ever, ever comment on your actual post because they feel embarrassed, they're shy, they're nervous, they don't know you, or they just don't want other people to see that. You have to give them the option to be able to connect with you in other ways. And a poll is a very easy way. They can just tap yes or no or whatever. First of all, don't ever say no. Whatever it is, always give positive responses. Like, would you like more information on this? Heck yeah. And shoot me more information. Give them a positive option so then you can be able to get back to them on whatever you're sharing about. I do a lot of videos, little snippets, not like an hour long, but probably a couple, worth of my workouts most of the week in my Insta stories, because I think it's nice for them to see what the workouts are, to see if it's something that they can do and they are curious with what we're doing. Polls, you can do answer boxes. Anything that's in there. But for me, the stories, guys, is a day in a life. You're going to see me, what I'm doing in the beginning. You're probably going to see some food pictures. You're going to see my workouts. You're going to see me on the gymnastics meet. You're going to see me at football fields. You're going to see me out with my family, going for a walk with my dog. It's a day in a life of Kelly. So you have to treat it kind of like that, because that's how they get to know you. And talk to them. Just talk to them. Today I did one about me. I was spinning in circles, like showing them a new outfit that I liked. And I'm like, hey, do you like it? Do you not? Talk about things other than health and fitness stuff. And people love to hear about, fashion or makeup or whatever. Share tips with people, give them value. Once again, whatever it is, share a workout tip, share a little video and say, all right, guys, do this at home. If you want to be able to do this, it's the move of the day or the workout, of the day, and show them something to do. Don't post Shakeology. Share things like it's your superfood. Share things about what it's done for you. Maybe highlight certain ingredients that are in there and say, how like your superfood shake that contains this, that has helped you achieve this, share information, create fear of missing out. You guys, I am not some rock star coach in here. I do not make millions, but you better believe my posts will probably make me look like I am the top coach, because I make $1 million and I am like never working again and whatever. I will always make it look like what?
That's how you get there.
That's how you get there. You fake it till you make it. And that's going to make people really excited about it. If they see, oh my gosh, you're doing this, and now I'm getting ready for this awesome, like when I talked about my outfit today, I'm like, we have this huge coaching event. I'm going to be working with Shaun T, and I'm like spinning around, and I'm like, I like this outfit. And you share what you're doing because people want that. There could be a mom at home that literally like is in, middle of nowhere that doesn't get any of this type of stuff, and they want that. So you have to give them that fear of missing out. When you go to events, get to events, guys. Get to Summit and blast the crap out of it. When you go to Super Saturdays, do the same thing. When you go to Success Club trips, you're going to share that, because people are going to say, oh my God, like they get to do these things and they're home with their kids in the process or whatever. You're going to share that, but create a fear of missing out. Share when people have made a big gain in the company. So if someone hit top whatever, then and it's someone from the team, share it. They don't know if it's your coach or not. They don't know if it's your coach that just made $3,000, in this past month. They don't know. But if we're sharing these things, share it there too. We're all a team, so it's all part of your stuff. Recognition and shout outs, transformation pictures. Maybe you don't have a perfect transformation picture that you're willing to share right now. There's no reason why we can't reach out and have the rest of us share. So share all of ours. Give little snippets. Stay-at-home mom, this one type 1 diabetes nurse, works full-time and still able to do this, like share information so it relates to other people. And then share what we do behind the scenes. Like, we're going to take a picture on here. You're going to go on your Insta story right after and you're going to share it, because that's what you're going to do. And if you don't, then tonight you're going to start. And you just have to share all this stuff. You have to think, I don't even know. Some days I have like a cajillion, but every day Insta stories is where I'm always going to be. It is your storefront. You need to think your social media. It is your only store, not only, but it is like 99% of your storefront. So you have to be visible every day, guys. You can't take a week off. Even if you're a week off on vacation, share your vacation. Like, have fun with it,
And I would add to that, Kelly, if you have a week or a season of time where your life is really hard and you are overwhelmed and you need to scale back on your business behaviors, that's fine. That was me the entire last year. I still showed up on social media almost every damn day with something to say, right? Because if you go invisible, it's like closing the door to your business, and then it is so much harder. I can tell you even that with your basics, when you slow down and take breaks, shit is so much harder to earn your momentum and get your groove back when you have gotten out of consistent habits and have to push back into them. It is better to just scale back and slow down your pace on those days or those times that you need to, and then ramp up the energy when you have the ability to, again, and know the difference between the two about yourself.
And I know this is a really small thing, guys, but you have to think, for any of you guys that are working a job, whether it's a part-time or a full-time job, like, would you just not show up to your teaching job this morning? Like, I'm trying to be really honest. Would I just ever not show up for all my patients that are scheduled to see me today? No, like, I wouldn't. I would, number one, get in trouble. Thankfully, we don't get that. We don't get in trouble. We're creating our own business. But would you not do that? If you're not going to do that to your teaching job, you're not going to do it to your nursing job, you're not going to do it to, working at wherever, you have to think about this in that mindset that this is your job. And honestly, guys, this is hopefully going to be the job that rewards you to be able to have the freedom and the things that you are just eager and striving to have. So if you're not going to work towards that, or it is that line of, I want to work harder for my own dreams. Like, do I want to work for someone else's dreams for the rest of my life, or do I want to work for my own? And everyone has different thoughts on where they want this to go. And it could be definitely a part-time thing for some people, and that's awesome. For me, it's not that. So I know I need to show up every single day, and I need to be present, because I can't expect anything to grow if I don't do that. So, you have to put the effort in for what you're wanting to take out of it, but just know that truly the opportunities are like an open door when it comes to how much you can get with this if you just put the work in. But if you're going to show up every once in a while, it's just not going to happen. So treat it like a business. So that's my thing.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Don't show up next week and then not for 3 weeks. But you guys, just, questions or anything like that comes up with any of this, let us know. But we wanted to at least let some basics, because if you don't feel comfortable with social media or you don't know what to post and things like that, it's going to be hard for things to go. Like, you need to feel more comfortable with. So hopefully some of the tips you heard tonight you could take away and be able to kind of start implementing. But if you guys have questions on anything, just let us know. We're all here to help.
Can I share a personal story as far as the last probably year has gone?
Yep.
So personally, I was struggling with the transition from my warm market on Facebook to Instagram. And I was doing a lot of cookie cutter stuff, what I thought I should be doing as far as Beachbody goes, the people I thought I should be attracting, a lot of the people who are on our teams, moms, kids, stay at home type of stuff. And that is not in any way me. And I was struggling, thinking, okay, well, maybe it's just not working. I can't talk to people. I don't know, I don't want to talk to any of these people. I don't have anything in common with them to bring up in conversation. It was really, really hard. And then once I, something just clicked, and then all of a sudden I started, I've heard a million times, we hear a million times to have an avatar. Okay, never freaking did it. Honesty hour. Never did it. And how many times you write down hashtags of things that you connect with? Search hashtags. Okay, I'm, just stupid shit. And I would do it all the freaking time, but I never connected with any of it. Well, finally, when I started really looking at other people outside of Beachbody that were kind of my same type of people, professional women in leadership roles. So other doctors, other physical therapists, other healthcare type workers, or people from even my community, maybe not necessarily professional people, but other people that live in this area, other people from where I'm from at home in Cleveland, Ohio. That then just gives you that small common link to reach out and start that conversation, because I was having so much trouble just even starting the conversation that I was paralyzed and feeling like I just had no freaking social skills. And I was really getting irritated with it and myself, and thinking, okay, can I do this or can I not? And so in the last month, since I've really been starting to follow all of these other people, the conversation has come so much easier. The just people popping up in even my scroll that I'm oh, look at that person, they went here, they went there, or oh, they live in Cleveland, or oh, they live in Jupiter, I went kayaking there too. These are things that you have real normal outside of Beachbody things that you can talk to them about, and that is then what builds the relationship, so then you can invite them to the challenge.
And makes you feel more confident reaching out, right?
And makes you feel way more confident, because then you have more than hey girl, what's going on? What are you doing today? Stupid messages that I was sending. Honesty hour.
I really feel, Katie.
I was struggling.
Boomerang before everybody goes away. Everybody
Molly boomerang.
Huh? Oh.
There's Molly. Molly, look, you got a boomerang.
All right, ready? Everybody's tired tonight. It's midnight. All right, ladies, let's call it a day. Thank you for sharing, Katie. That was helpful.
Yep.
We'll see you next week. I'll go ahead and post the recording in the morning, and I'll also post a Google document of all the things we covered tonight in case you want to sit down and go through them all.
Get peeps in our coach sneak peek, guys.
Thanks,
Rally
Kelly.
the troops.
All right. Bye.
Bye.